How's it going, everybody? I'm John Chandler, and welcome to another episode of Audio Vice. This channel is dedicated to anything and everything that has to do with pro audio. Today, we're going to talk about DJing, and we got a treat for you. We got a one-on-one interview with a dear friend of mine, Mr. DJ Teddy Wade. But before we get started, let's hear from our sponsors, Tapscott Media Services. Hey, how's it going, everybody? And welcome to another episode of Audio Vice, a channel that's dedicated to anything and everything that has to do with pro audio. Well, today we're definitely blessed because we're going to interview a very dear friend of mine. He's a subject matter expert, he's a professional, and he's a DJ. Let's give it up for DJ Teddy Wade. What's going on, man? All right. Yeah, much props. Yeah.
DJ Teddy in the house. What's up, people? What's up?
There you go. Yeah. So we've known each other for about maybe 4 or 5 years now, or something like that.
Yeah.
And so just tell me your journey. I mean, you were in the military, you know, and you had an a military occupational specialty, and it was multimedia. So without going back to basic training, you know, because you just recently retired, tell us how you transitioned from the military, what you did, you know, and what you're doing now.
So first of all, I was born in Panama, right? Panama is a party town. Panama, everybody parties. So I grew up there, and we like to listen to all kinds of music, American music, Latin music. So I grew up listening to music. Then I joined the military, and I started DJing on the weekends. And I was doing barracks party.
Oh, wow.
So I was the barracks DJ.
Yeah.
And then somebody worked at the DFAT. It was this lady. She's from Nicaragua. DFAT, dining facility.
Dining facility. Okay, yeah.
Military terms.
All of it,
DFAT, dining facility.
Okay.
So she's like, I got a baby shower for my daughter. How much you charge me to do it? And I said, well, I can do it for $100. She's like, how many hours? I said, all day. All day.
That
was back in the day.
That was back in the day before you knew better, right? Yeah.
So for $100, I DJ from 12 noon to like 8 at night.
Oh, wow.
And I was like mixing it up. I'm like, man, I like this. I can do this for living, right? Then I went to Korea. I started doing club DJ and doing clubs, Latin club, American club, hip hop and everything. And it kind of took off. And then my military career kind of was taking off at the same time. So my military career, my occupational specialty was combat camera, which is photo and video. So I combined my photo and video skills with my DJ audio skills.
Okay.
So that just made me better at marketing myself.
Triple threat.
Triple threat.
There you go.
So I market myself with the video and the photo, and then I have my DJ skill and my music background, you know, being Latino, being Panamanian, and, you know, merging all the cultures together. So that's kind of my specialty. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So I would imagine, you know, being a combat cameraman, you've seen a lot, you know, both good and bad and everything. So has, you know, after your, 20 years of military experience, you know, I remember you told me at one time you realized where your passions were and where your strengths were. And sometimes they don't match. And it's up to you to figure out, hey, how do you pull the best out of yourself? Right?
So the biggest thing with the military, like, you're great at everything. Not everybody's great at everything, right? But having soldiers and people following you kind of make you step forward. Okay. You know, you have to step in front of the formation. You have to speak on behalf of them. You have to be their leader. And it kind of is a drive that pushes you to be better, you know. Okay. And trust me, especially when I was a platoon sergeant, because I had direct contact with soldiers. I mean, I had soldiers that had, a DUI, and I had to go to court with him.
Oh, wow.
And basically, I became his lawyer.
Johnny Cochran, look out, man. You know?
So I became his lawyer, and then I went through that moment with him, right? And then I was a soldier. Hey, I had a problem with, I want to say
stuff. Yeah,
stuff, like sexually transmitted stuff.
Okay.
much.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, you know what? Take time off, do what you gotta do, you know. And then physical fitness. Let's push these guys to be better. You know, I can't be shamming. I have to be, you know, push myself, you know, in order to keep up and be the example.
Right.
And that's kind of the biggest thing when you're in the military. When you become a leader, you become like the example.
Yeah, a role model.
The role model, the standard bearer, and it's that weight that it's hard to carry. You know, you don't keep up with yourself, and you don't put the work in. You know, the ethics.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. So I would imagine. So now you're in the military. You're in leadership positions, and people are looking up to you. And now you're approaching the crest of your finishing your career, right? You've done all sorts of things, but you were telling me you discovered that your passion is DJing. So how do you go from like combat camera, you know, dealing with 4-star generals to wiki, you know,
So music is my passion, right?
Okay.
And sharing music is like sharing a moment, like sit down with you and having a meal. You know, so when I play my music, I'm bringing a special moment to you. And especially when I do weddings, I bring two couples, you know, a couple together, you know. And it's such a beautiful moment, you know. And then I did it in multiple states. I DJ in New York when I was in Syracuse. I DJ in Alabama when I was before. And I DJ in D.C. for 10 years. D.C., Maryland, Virginia. And then I'm doing it here in Georgia. So I feel like that translates from state to state, from culture to culture. That's something I can do. You know, I can do that until I'm 70.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And the military, in the other side, the military is only for young men.
Okay.
Military for young men. You got to be in shape. You got to be out there in the cold weather, you know. I'm like, man, how long am I going to do this? You know, I'm 43 right now. You know, I love, but then also I wanted to find a sense of community. With the military, no offense. This is the dark side of the military. You got to move every 3 years. So I made friends with you. We great friends. Then I had to say, hey, John, I'm sorry, I got to move. Goodbye. Then I see you online only. Hey, how you doing? Text messages.
Text messages. That's it, right? Hey, blink, thumb.
You know, I cannot sit down with you and have a conversation. So I was missing that. You know, like, I need to stop moving around and chasing these dreams. I need to focus on building community, building friendships, and building my network for my business. Because every time I move, trust me, it costs me.
Yeah. Because I would imagine, like, let's say, like you were mentioning, in Alabama, you had a huge following. And so when you came here, you had
lost money. Like,
there you go. There you go.
Lost money big time.
And folks, let me let you know that, you know, the technical piece is easy. It's the networking piece that's required for success. And this man right here, I'm always picking his brain, because when you came from Alabama, and I'm always saying, how did you keep tabs on those folks in Alabama? You know, how do you know, I know you got the lock on the Spanish community and everything, right? I know you got that lock, you know, but how, with the geographical separation, man, how are you able to keep that still vital?
So the beauty of social media, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can connect with people. So with social media, I just gotta post a photo and I can tag it in Alabama so people see it. Oh man, that's a local photo, but it's not, because I posted from here. So they don't know. So they're like, oh man, I like this photo. Oh, this guy's a local DJ. So I kept the market in Alabama and Georgia at the same time by posting photos on multiple locations. Doing like a social GPS tag or something like that.
Oh, okay. Now you also mentioned at one time you said you make sure that your customers do a review or something like that?
Yes. So every time you finish an event, you wait like a couple of days and you send a link so they can give you a review. Then that review kind of validates your work, and it creates more work for you, because people see it and like, oh man, we like this guy because the review says he's really good.
Right. So
it's like immediate feedback. You know?
Because I'm always seeing, you know, on your Instagram, I'm seeing like quotes from customers. Yeah, DJ Teddy made our night, you know, memorable, and it was a blast and all those things. And
so that's something I started last year. So people used to give me a review, and they had like a special website like Wedding Wire and Google reviews. But I wanted to bring that to my social media. So I created like a template, and I copy the review, and then I make it a photo. I put it on top of their photo from the event, and then I post it on my social media. So now people see the same review, but they see it on my social media.
So it's on multiple.
And then I'm kind of maximizing the review. So the audience is bigger now.
All right. So now let's start digging in. So music, right? The universal language, right?
Yeah.
So when I started DJing, it was I started in clubs or whatever. So that was, this is back in the day. I'm a little older than DJ.
No, I
K,
did clubs too. I did clubs. Yeah.
But the big thing that I was into was house music, right? So but my own setup was, like what you see behind me. Some house speakers, and old school home stereo, whatever.
Yeah.
So tell me about your first setup. Your speakers, and what was your logic in picking whatever you did purchase for starting out?
Let me go back.
Take it back.
My first mixer was a Dog. It was called the Dog. It was a 2-channel mixer by Newmar.
Okay.
Called the Dog. It was like a little puppy.
Okay.
It was like this small.
Okay.
2 channels.
Okay.
And I have a Gemini mixer or a Gemini CD player.
Okay.
With 2 CDs.
Okay.
Whack.
Okay.
Super whack. Because I used to play music and it used to kind of freeze. Like, oh my God, it's freezing. It was garbage.
Oh man.
So then I bought an amplifier, a Crown amplifier. Then I bought 2 speakers.
Okay.
I blew them. Because I used to plug it in and raise the volume, and I blew the speakers.
Oh, okay.
Then I went to Circuit City.
Went to what?
Circuit City.
Oh, Circuit City. Oh my goodness, not Circuit City. Whoa. For y'all that don't know, Circuit City went out of business what, in like late 90s?
2005 or 6.
2005 or 6.
So I went to Circuit City and I bought car stereo speakers, like subwoofers, and I put it on my speakers because I didn't know any better.
Oh wow! So you like made your own.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now my sound was a little more beefy. It was more kicking, more bass.
Okay.
But the vocals kind of went down because the subwoofer is not designed to project like actual vocals. It's more for like bass.
Right. The low frequencies. Right.
But I didn't know any better, so that was kind of my setup, and I was DJing with that. Then I went to Korea and I used to borrow speakers from a friend of mine. He got some JBLs.
Okay.
And then I started doing clubs with my DJ, and then I used to plug in all 4 speakers into the same amplifier. And I was pushing it.
I was about to say, did the amplifier start smoking or anything? I was like, good Lord, I can't push all 4 speakers, man. Yeah.
So eventually I got smarter.
Okay.
And I separated my frequencies. So I got an amplifier for the subwoofer, then I have an amplifier for my high full range speakers.
Okay.
And then I had equalizers, and I started getting better and better. And that's when I transitioned my sound to what I have right now.
Okay.
And right now I have a bunch of power speakers and I have DBS drive racks. So I separated the high frequencies from the low frequencies and everything sounds great.
Okay. So now you have, so for my listeners, explain the difference between your passive speakers that has an external amp and an amplified speaker. What are the benefits of that?
So when you have passive speaker, they don't have any power. So you bring an amplifier, which is a separate device, and they provide power to the speakers.
Okay.
But the speaker had to match the same power rated for that device. So for example, if the amplifier is 1,000 watts, the speaker had to be 500 and 500. So you push in 500 and 500, and that's multiplied by 2 is 1,000.
Okay.
But when you have power speakers, they already have integrated amplifiers. You don't have to worry about the power rating. You just plug it in with the audio signal, and that's it. They're ready to go.
Oh, okay. So all the math is done.
All the math is done.
Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then you don't have to worry about blowing the speakers like I did before.
Right.
Because I
you
put
can
too
blow
much
the amp, but you can't blow the speaker itself. Okay, gotcha.
So before, how I blew my speakers, right? I was pushing them with an amplifier that was too powerful.
Okay.
The speaker was 300 watts, and the amplifier was 1,000.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
Times 2, that's 600.
Yep.
My amplifier got 400 watts more.
Right.
So I was pushing them and poof.
Right.
Literally in a party. Poof.
they were like, oh, cool effect. Cool effect, man. Yeah.
Smoke.
Yeah, smoke.
Poof.
Yeah, smoke machine, right?
That was a party. It was a Bears party. I was like, oh my God. Boof.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what did what did you do then? Did you
we got some other guy's speaker, like a home speaker. We plug it in with wires.
Twist wire, yeah.
Twist wire, and then we plug it in. We get the party going.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I just wow, that's funny. That's funny. I just recently got amplified speakers because I used to have the passive and stuff, and I know that mathematically, you typically want twice the amount of power that the speaker can handle because you get greater fidelity. But if you push the volume too high, you blow the speaker. So in other words, you can hear the vocals and the hi-hats more with more power, but the volume, like if you have a dance floor that's like a full ballroom, you can't crank it for the people in the rear to hear?
Ooh, that depends.
Right.
Because different speakers are set up for different things.
Okay.
So you have a speaker that projects more. That's the one you want to use for a long ballroom.
Okay.
So I have speakers right now. I have small speakers that are for like cocktail hours or something small. I have speakers that are, it's called column arrays. I have little tweeters that go up and down. That's more like ambience sound.
Okay.
Then I have regular speakers that throw a little far, and that's my normal speakers. Then I have another speaker. There's a three-way speaker. I have a tweeter, a mid-range, and a subwoofer.
Okay.
And that one throws all the way in the back.
Okay.
Like 200 meters.
Now, the tweeter, mid, and sub, do they have external amps, or are those built-in amplifiers?
It's a built-in amplifier.
Okay, wow.
But it separates the frequencies, have a crossover.
Right.
So everything
each speaker's only dealing with a certain group of frequencies.
So
Gotcha.
the high, the tweeter get the high, the mid get the mids,
Right.
and the sub get the kick.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So I would imagine as a DJ, your calling card is your quality of sound, right?
My quality of sound.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
That and the music knowledge and the different background.
Right, keeping people dancing
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had some passive speakers, and so tell me this, as a DJ, have you ever, tell me a story without revealing names
Okay.
of something that crazy happened. So, for example, we had when the song Wobble Wobble came out, right? Doesn't matter.
The juvenile one?
What's that?
The juvenile? Wobble
Yes.
Wobble juvenile.
Yeah. And so when that came out, doesn't matter what your background was, everybody jumped onto the floor. Well, alcohol kicked in and everything, and literally there was unfortunately a fight broke out, and food started flying, and this plate of food hit my speaker and totally destroyed my speaker or whatever, and luckily I had insurance, because as a business you can you kind of want that insurance or whatever. Tell me of an interesting story that's something kind of, it could be funny or whatever, and explain the importance of, as a company, being legit and having that insurance and either that money and savings or whatever, in case something happens.
So I'm trying to figure it out. You need to have multiple speakers and multiple equipment. In the military, I learned something called redundancy.
Okay.
So for every system you have in place, you need to have a backup system. So it's redundancy. So I have like 13 speakers right now. So if something happened to something or a speaker, I can always replace it.
Okay.
The other thing is the business side. You gotta make sure you charge enough so you can replace your speaker over time or your equipment over time. So let me think about a moment now.
Okay.
When I used to be a club DJ, right? I used to have a couple fights at the club.
Okay.
So I used to play crunk music, like Little John. So I play, get low to the window.
Yep.
So,
To the
and when
wall.
people start jumping on each other, hey, fight. Okay. Then I played a ballad. I would play Usher. Lovers are friends. Dun, 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 dun.
To kind of calm things down. Yep.
Lovers and friends.
Yeah. Go ahead. He's also a singer, right?
So I went from like crunk music to like lovers and friends.
Right.
That was the trick. Equipment.
Now back to that though.
Yeah.
Did the folks on the floor realize what you were doing and they kind of laughed it off? They were like, "All right, DJ."
They kind of felt like, man, this guy kind of killing the move now. It's like, oh man, let's just settle down.
Yeah, let's settle down. Okay, that's smart. That's smart. Yeah.
So equipment failure. Man.
I mean, it sounds like you got a lot of redundant systems. So
I just never failed, man.
Triple threat, yeah. Have you ever had somebody like, oh man, let me check out your whatever, and they accidentally mess something up? Like, let's say you had a set list, right? And they're playing with it, and all of a sudden they're like, you come back to your deck, and you're like, what the hell did you do? Did you ever have anybody mess with your stuff?
Oh no, not really.
Man, you had it easy, man.
No. I don't know, man. I just don't know.
Okay.
I mean, last month I did a wedding, right? And then my controller was kind of acting up.
Okay.
My bigger one, but I had this one as a backup. So I just went to my truck, pulled this one out, boom, plug it in.
Okay.
Came home, reset the old one. That's it. Good to go.
Okay.
So I don't have like issues. I have situations, but I would have a backup plan.
Okay.
So for me, it's like failing. That's a no.
That's not an option.
No, not an option.
Not an option, yeah.
No, like
Yeah.
It's a one-way ticket. You can't go back. You know, it's like
Right.
you can't fail. You know.
Right. Right.
That's kind of my motto.
Okay. Okay. So when you make your social media things, right, and you put music to it and stuff like that, how do you make sure that explain your process as far as making sure the clarity of the music happens? Do you put like EQ on, like, you know, some of your channels on the mixer? Like you mentioned, like crunk music is more bass heavy versus like smooth jazz for reception and stuff like that. Explain your thought process when you're playing different types of music.
Like at the weddings or parties or with social media?
Well, first do the actual events and then talk about in post how you did on social media.
So depends. When I do weddings, ceremony is all about highs and mids. You don't need bass.
Okay.
Because you want people to hear the officiant or the pastor speaking, and you want clear vocals. So when people are, oh my God, the lyrics of this song. So for example, you play Mariah Carey, Dream Lover. Dream Lover, come back to me. Take me up, take me down. You want people to listen to the lyrics and sing along.
Right. Right.
Boom, you got them singing. Oh my God, they're singing.
Right.
The microphone, oh my God, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Everything's great, right?
Right. Puts them in the mood. There you go. Sets the stage.
We finish the ceremony, we go into cocktail hours. Cocktail is about a little bit of bass and a lot of mids and highs, right? People are having a good time, having a conversation, but the volume is not too high. They can hear the music, but they can still have a conversation. Okay. When we go to the reception area, that's when I bring the boom. Okay. I got the bass.
The boom, right. Yeah.
I got the heights and the mids.
Okay.
And I have the vocals now because I'm speaking. And I usually introduce my couples. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment everybody has been waiting for. Give it up for Mr. and Mrs. John, Chandler.
Right.
Man,
Right. Okay.
And then we start the party that way. Okay. Now we're going to dinner time and everything kind of goes down on volume, but I still displaying the same kind of sound, right? Okay. Then during the party portion, I raise the volume up, but the equalizing is the same.
Oh, okay.
It just kind of go up and down in volume.
In volume. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
And that's for like my events. So I'm trying to figure out what are we doing right now? What's the dynamic for the people? And then I adjust the volume depending on the situation. Okay. That makes sense. It's more situational.
Right. Because that also kind of directs the mood. Or of the event. Okay. Now in your social media posts and stuff, and you put music and stuff, do you just kind of say, well, that's just a music bit, that's just background music, I don't really have to get into details on stuff like that, or what?
So music is everything, right? So when I do social media, I need to think about my target audience. So right now, the millennials and the Generation C is my target, right? Okay. So they like new music, but not too new, they don't know it. So you gotta play some new music and some classics. To try to mix it up, When I do social media, look, a lot of people is getting paid on social media, like the influencers. Right. Am I an influencer? No, but I'm a product. I see myself as a product because I'm selling DJ services. Okay. So I try to promote my DJ brand with social media. I'm not getting paid directly, but I'm getting paid as a result of my promotion. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So if I promote well, that's going to give me dividends later on with a gig.
It's going to come back,
So I put a lot of time and effort trying to create my videos. So
Okay, that makes sense. Makes sense. So where do you normally go to get your equipment? Do you like just go to Sweetwater, or do you go to a particular place, or do you like, look on eBay, or do you just wait? Tell me about your equipment. Because I've been to your place. This man right here has all sorts of toys. All sorts. I was in his garage and he's got stuff on racks, and I was like, and he was like, John, where are you? I was like, man, I'm over here, man. What's this? So tell me about,
I have a lot of equipment. Okay. That's kind of my vice, as you want to call it, because I spend a lot of money on equipment. Okay. So any given year, I spend about $10,000 on equipment. Woo! I rotate my stuff. Like I buy something, I don't like it no more, sell it, get something new. Okay. So I'm for real. Like I do a lot of YouTube research. Okay. So I listen to guys like you. Hey, what do you think about that equipment? Okay, good. Then I go somewhere and I test it, like Guitar Center. If I like it, then I buy it online, like Sweetwater or so many websites.
Okay. Okay. Now, I'm gonna ask you. Now, if this is too personal, you can tell me. We cut this out. Now, guys like us and like many of you, we like equipment, and like he said, he $10,000. He sells something, he buys something else or whatever. When you're married and you got kids, right? You got, you kind of have to bring in the loved one and say, hey, honey, it's gonna be all right. I need to buy this new device or whatever. How do you work that into things? Do you approach it and say, hey, honey, as a business, is your wife your business partner and therefore she understands, or is it like this is just a side hustle or.
So my wife being with me, we're actually celebrating this year 20 years.
All right, congratulations.
So I got married very young, and then we've been through a lot, and we're still together. Praise God.
All right.
So she understands like this is a business.
Okay, good.
And my business actually made money. But I'm a self-employed when it comes to that business. So you don't spend money on your business, you're gonna pay a lot of taxes.
Yeah.
15%. So the whole goal is there. You make money, but you gotta spend some of that back into your business.
So you can write it off.
So you can write it off.
Right.
And then you reduce your tax burden by spending money.
Right.
So every year I'm looking for the next new thing because I gotta spend money.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm gonna have a bill of who knows what.
Right.
And Uncle Sam don't play.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
I used to work for the man.
Yeah.
I know he don't play.
Right.
He's gonna take your money.
That's right.
So I mean, I'm not a tax whatever. I'm not a tax expert. I'm just saying you gotta spend. Pay your taxes.
Yeah.
But you gotta spend in order to reduce and then invest back in your equipment. Yeah.
Right.
Into your business.
Yeah. Yeah. I know for me when I, you know how it is.
Yeah.
I know for me when I buy stuff, a lot of times when I buy it, my wife, she'll say, like we have a wedding coming up next month, and they want me to play music and it's multiple inputs. So I had to, I said, hey, I need to buy a mixing console. And so I'll do research and stuff. And as I'm doing research, I start saying to myself, well, yeah, this mixing console, it can take care of this one gig coming up. But if I get this one over here, I'll have this new capability that I could sell. Have you ever done that when buying equipment?
You gotta be strategic when you buy equipment because you can only spend so much money. So you gotta buy stuff that work for multiple events, not just one. So when I buy something, for example, this controller right here, I use that for my backup, but I can also use it for another DJ to do other parties.
Okay.
So he can produce money for me if I'm not using it.
Okay.
So you gotta think about that. If I'm using my money to buy this, how much revenue I can get out of that piece of equipment.
Okay.
Yeah. So
awesome.
You cannot focus on, let me get one-off speaker only for John because he like this speaker right here. No, because I cannot make money off that piece of equipment over and over again. So you got to think about the long game.
The long game.
The long game, not just right now. You got to think about how much money I'm going to invest, how much money I'm going to get back.
Right. Yeah. I know when I was first starting out, that was that was hard for me to think of the long game.
Yeah.
Because when that bill comes due, or if you're paying cash, when that money leaves your account, you're like, okay, I did it. There's no turning back, whatever, So it's kind of a
PayPal. Ding, ding.
Yep.
$2,000.
Yeah. Yep.
Or 1,000.
Yeah,
or
1,000 or whatever. Yeah. So now, if you could tell us about when you where do you see your company going now? I know you mentioned when I was last at your house, you were talking about you wanted to expand beyond just DJing and be a production company. And you were still kind of brainstorming that idea. Kind of tell us what your thought process, why did you think, well, I think I want to do production now, or provide sound for bands and stuff like that. Kind of share with us what's in your head about stuff like that.
So you got to think of yourself as an investor, right? And you have to have multiple revenues. So as a DJ, I can only do weddings or maybe school dances, but school dances, unfortunately, don't pay that much. So you gotta multiply your revenue, right?
Right.
So I feel if I provide sound for a concert or a small event, I can charge more money. So I'm trying to venture into that, and then I want to venture into having my own venue at some point. So I can have my DJs at the venue. Now you pay one check, you get the DJ, the photo, the graphics, the videographer, everything in one check, one location.
One location. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're talking about an actual venue, a physical venue? Whoa.
I shouldn't say that too loud. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, man. See,
Yeah.
but no, that's that long game mentality, though. I mean, and I always admired that about you. You're always, you kind of keep to yourself, but your brain and your spiritual eye is looking beyond the horizon, man. You know, and that's
you gotta be 2 steps ahead.
yes,
2 steps,
yeah,
always.
yeah. It's chess, not checkers, right? Yeah. So let's talk about controllers, right? So mine is not as fancy as yours, right? I have the S4. Mine's a MIDI controller that requires a laptop. So explain to me. I believe you had one at one time that just worked off a laptop.
I have 2 laptops.
Yeah. So explain to me that kind of setup versus the kind of setup you have here.
So I don't know if they can see. Can they see this?
No, they can't. We'll throw in some B-roll footage.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'll throw in the B-roll footage. But just
So,
talk through it.
This setup right here, that's a standalone mixer board. So basically, you have a hard drive bay inside with a 1 terabyte hard drive.
Okay.
And right now, I have about 150 gigabytes of music stored in there.
Oh wow. Okay.
And then I can get on Wi-Fi and I can download music or play from Wi-Fi.
You can stream from.
I can stream music from these controllers.
Whoa.
And this technology came out in 2020.
Wow.
But I saw the light bulb. Like, I gotta move into this.
Because that's where things are going now.
This is where I'm
seeing all
going.
things on YouTube. DJs now just showing up, they connect to the cloud, and they're like, bam,
So when I saw this on 2020, I went ahead and bought the one with the 4 channels. And this one is the one with the 2 channels. So I ended up buying this one last year.
Okay.
And you gotta be future proof. You wanna move forward with the technology instead of staying static. You wanna move forward. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And I love laptop, but Mac computers are expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they cost me $2,000. Can they DJ? No, because they need a device to DJ. Right. Meanwhile, this thing cost me $1,000, $1,500, and you can DJ completely without needing another device.
Wow.
Because you can DJ with this without the computer.
You said like $1,500 for that?
$1,500, yeah.
That's
and you don't need the computer.
Yeah.
So you buy a controller, it costs you $1,000, and then you need a computer for $2,000.
And you don't. The one thing about having a computer set up is it's got an operating system.
Yeah.
It's doing all sorts of other things.
And then when it updates, it doesn't connect to your controller.
Right.
So
yeah.
So you cut the middleman by getting a standalone controller. Yeah.
Or if you have a laptop, you also have to like silence all the notifications because while you're DJing, you're bing. You're all, Wow, that's very nice.
So I saw the future with this. I saw the streaming capability and the hard drive bay that you can have a hard drive or you can plug in USB devices as well. So
okay.
So I did the move early. You gotta see the future. Like, man, this thing is the future. Let me buy it right now.
Right.
So that's what I did.
So you started with the old school Gemini CD
player, yeah.
And then you went to the controllers with the laptop.
Well, if we go back, like before I was a professional DJ, I started with a friend of mine. He used to have a house, like a studio like this, something smaller. And we used to have 1 turntable and 1 CD player.
Okay.
And I used to mix with the turntable and the CD player and a little 2-channel mixer.
Okay.
That's how I learned.
Okay.
Mixing the same song back and forward.
Young grasshopper.
Yeah, it's like, okay, this is how you hit, and then back and forward.
Right.
Then eventually I moved to CD players, and then eventually I moved to computers.
Okay.
So it took years, like 5, 6, 7, 10 years. Yeah.
Okay. Now, as far as DJing, what's your favorite style? Beat mixing, scratching, or just straight playing, segueing music and just working on the playlist? Or
so I'm energetic. That's my selling point. I'm an energetic guy. I'm not ADHD, but I wasn't diagnosed, so I'm like ADHD. I gotta move,
Right. Yeah.
So I'm energetic. I'm always, oh my God, bring the energy, right? I'm always blending. Like I blend really good.
Okay.
That's my strength.
Okay.
I scratch, but nobody cares about scratching unless you are a club DJ and a scratch DJ.
Okay.
You go to a wedding, man, you start scratching. Grandma's gonna look like you crazy.
Look sideways. Give you the stink out. Yeah.
What are you doing? That noise.
Yeah.
So scratching is good if you get paid to scratch.
Okay.
But if you're a wedding DJ or a commercial DJ, you don't have to scratch that much. That's a flair thing.
Right.
But it's not the main ingredient.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Speaking of flair, I've seen your van.
Oh yeah.
Tell me about the van, man.
I'm a dreamer, I'm a dreamer. I'm always dreaming.
Oh yeah.
I'm always dreaming big.
Now, even when he was just one thought.
I'm dreaming.
Even when this man was in the military, he was an E8 in the military, and we were working on the same team. We'd have a simple gig, and he'd come to me and say, "Hey, Mr. Chandler, let's do this." Boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, "Whoa! Give me a minute to think. Give me a minute to think." So his brain is always thinking ahead.
So the van.
Yeah.
I used to rent U-Hauls, and it cost me about $150 per night, plus or minus, or for the weekend.
Okay.
To rent a U-Haul. And I was making gigs sometimes for $300. I'm like, man, I'm giving 50% of my income to U-Haul.
Yeah.
So I bought a van real cheap for $3,000 cash. It was leaking oil. It wasn't starting. I'm like, man, this is a piece of junk.
Right.
I sold it for $900.
Okay.
And like, okay, I'm gonna see if I can finance something. So I financed my truck for $10,000.
Okay.
Use the $900 to pay the taxes and the title and the tag.
Right. $10,000 is not bad.
I was paying $200 a month for the van.
Yeah.
It's a white van.
Mm-hmm.
I put some rims. I'm like, let me put some rims on the van, make it look cool. Put a license plate, DJ Teddy.
Okay.
Driving around.
Mm-hmm.
I go to Home Depot, and this guy pull up next to me like, oh man, nice van. You got some wheels too, man. Are you a plumber? Are you a plumber or a contractor? Are you a plumber or contractor? Like, plumber? No offense, I felt offended.
No offense to any plumbers out there, man.
I'm a plumber.
Yeah.
Man, I need a rap. I need something that says DJ.
Yeah.
So I started researching online, and I found this guy in New Jersey. He was doing rap, and I sent a picture of my truck. He gave me a good price. He said, usually that's $5,000. I do the whole truck for $3,000. And I'm like, oh my God. So I give him a down payment, worked with him for months, went up to New Jersey, finished the payment, and he wrapped it up for me. So, and that's my truck with the whole rap, DJ Teddy.
So you made payments first, and then you
I did a down payment of $1,000, and then I paid the rest when he finished.
Okay, yeah. That van is
it's sick.
It's sick, man. It's sick. And I mean, it's its own billboard.
It's
its own bill. I mean, the first time I saw it was you were in Walmart, and I parked next to it. I was just like looking at it, like, because the wrap that you have shows lights. It shows the image, the logo and everything, and it just. You mentioned you like energy. It was, and it's not too busy either. It's not busy either. Did you have input on the design too?
Yeah.
Okay.
I worked with him. Yeah.
Okay.
So I wanted something like a spaceship.
Right.
And then I wanted like a DJ logo there, and I wanted like musical stuff, and I wanted letters that say my website in big.
Okay.
So he put all that together for me.
Okay. Yeah. Very impressive.
Yeah.
Very impressive. Yeah. Well, if any of my viewers out there decided, you know what, I want to be a DJ, what words or pearls of wisdom would you give them?
Be unique. Be unique. It's so much easier now to be a DJ. Anybody can say, I'm a DJ. I bought a computer and a controller. I'm a DJ. But what made you unique? I know who I am. I know what I bring. I'm a Latin DJ, so I can bring that culture from Latin America and the American culture and blend it together. That's my specialty.
Okay.
I also love reggae, so I can throw some Bob Marley and some Jamaican stuff in there, and the little horn.
Yep.
That what made me special. What made you special? What kind of DJ are you? You're not going to stand out in the sea of DJs and in social media. You don't have nothing special. People have to come to see you. You have to bring something special.
Okay.
That's what I say to all the newbies out there.
Okay. All right. Well, before we wrap up, make sure you put out your, give a shout out to your website.
So it's right here. I got a big old logo over here, DJ Teddy 507. That's the website too, djteddy507.com. Or social media, the same thing, DJ Teddy 507.
Okay.
All social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you stopping by and everything. And we're going to check out some of the toys that he brought or whatever. But I hope you enjoyed this interview and everything. If you have any questions or comments, or you had any questions for DJ Teddy, leave them in the links down below or whatever. Okay. All right. Well, enjoy your day. Remember, be yourself and enjoy it. All right. Take care. Peace. Well, I hope you enjoyed the interview with Mr. DJ Teddy Wade. He has a lot of experience, and he really brought up some good points that I can learn from, and hopefully you can learn from too as well. If you have any pro audio topics that you would like me to discuss on this channel, leave them down in the comments below. Remember, pro audio, it's not a talent. Instead, it's a well-rehearsed skill. All right, you have a great day, and see you on the next episode.